Hey guys, it's your old pal Alice Cooper. Basically, this is Spooktacular. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of horror movies that have a Halloween theme to it. Look for it all this month.
Friday the 13th, Part 5. A New Beginning. So, it's not a very complex story, actually, so I'm going to go ahead and delve into it. A young Tommy Jarvis stumbles upon a graveyard while walking through the woods on a rainy night where he witnesses two grave robbers digging up the corpse of Jason Voorhees. Jason rises from the grave and murders the grave robbers before advancing towards Tommy. Awakening from his nightmare, teenager Tommy arrives at a Pinehurst halfway house, a secluded residential treatment facility, which incidentally is a place for crazy people. You know, it's a mental institution, basically. Except it's out in the woods. Pam Roberts, the director, introduces Tommy to head doctor Matt Letter. In his assigned room, Tommy also meets Reggie, a black kid, a boy whose grandfather George works as a kitchen cook. Other teens introduced are kind-hearted Robin, goth Violet, shy Jake, short-tempered Vic, who lasts about 4 minutes in the movie, and compulsive eater Joey. The sheriff brings two more residents, nymphomaniac lovers Eddie and Tina, after catching them having sex on neighbor Ethel Hubbard's lawn. Ethel Hubbard and her son Junior show up on a motorcycle and threaten to have the house closed if the teens do not stop sneaking onto their property. Once incidentally, they ride off on their motorcycle after she threatens them, obviously, and she rides off, and the police officer says, "Okay, everything is fine," so he just drives off. One day, let me go ahead and get into this. This guy Vic is chopping wood with an axe, which is a dumb idea, by the way, to give a crazy man an axe. In a fit of rage, let me go ahead and get into this. Joey is basically this overeater, and he's taught these two girls, and he's got this chocolate bar, and he says he's gonna help out, and he gets chocolate on the clothes, and he says Joey, and then of course he goes to Vic, and he says, "Hey, you want a bite of my candy bar?" And he says, "Leave me alone." Okay, well that's a big red flag there. He's a crazy man with an axe. Leave him alone. And the freaking Joey, he has this candy bar, and he says, "Okay, you want a bite of this?" And he says, "Okay, I'll just leave it there." And he freaking cuts it with the axe, and he says, "If that's the way you feel about it, forget it." And the freaking Vic, he goes freaking insane and kills Joey with an axe. And he is subsequently arrested, and the cops come over there and arrest him. And the attending ambulance drivers, Duke and Roy Burns, discover the body, and freaking Duke is a jerk. He uncovers the body for basically everybody there to see. And Roy, he is of course saddened by this death, but Duke believes the murder was a harmless prank. That night, punks Vinny and Pete are murdered by an unseen assailant after their car breaks down. The following night, Billy and his friend Lana are killed with an axe. You know, after they have sex again for the second time out in the woods. Incidentally, Jason, you know how he is with sex. He just doesn't like it. You know, the whole that's the sound of teens freaking. And with the death of Joey, the body count has started. So, uh, panic begins to ensue, but the mayor refuses the sheriff's claim that somehow Jason Voorhees has returned. The next day, more murders occur when Tina and Eddie sneak off into the woods. Uh, Ethel's farmhand Raymond is killed while spying on the two having sex. Psst, duh. While Eddie leaves to go wash up off in the creek, Tina is murdered. And incidentally, we get another one of those 3D shots with the hedge clippers, which is stupid, by the way. Tina is murdered. Eddie returns to find her dead, and he too is killed. Meanwhile, Tommy and Pam accompany Reggie to visit Reggie's older brother, Demon, which is a black guy, duh, and his girlfriend, Nita, she's a black girl. While there, Junior has a fight with Tommy, and he runs off with Pam when Pam tries to stop him. After Reggie and Pam leave, Demon and Nita are subsequently murdered. I want to go ahead and go into detail here where he's in this toilet after he says, "Damn enchiladas," and he has this singing with his girl and ooh baby, yeah baby. And after a while, the freaking dude he decides to go ahead and hide inside of the freaking toilet, which is a dumb idea, by the way. And Jason just stabs him right through the freaking toilet. I mean that toilet outhouse has like 3 inches of steel between him and Jason. That's just plain stupid. And at the Hubbard farm, Ethel and Junior are both killed as well by Jason after Junior gets on his motorcycle and he's screaming out, "He hurt me, Ma! He hurt me!" And he says, "You come eat your food, Junior." And then he and Ethel has this tomato and she squishes it in her hand and Jason kills her, which is pretty cool, by the way. Pam leaves Reggie at the halfway house to look for Tommy. After Reggie falls asleep, the killer enters and murders Jake, Robin, and Violet. Incidentally, that scene with the goth, she has this really cool music that she's playing. I can't really get into detail for obvious reasons. Reggie awakes and discovers that the dead body's in Tommy's room before running into Pam. So evidently we got this idea that Tommy is the one that's doing this. More on that later. The killer revealed to be wearing a Jason X hockey mask bursts into the house and chases them out into the rain. After discovering the bodies of Duke, Matt, and George, Pam rushes toward the barn, chased by Jason, but is struck by a tractor driven by Reggie. Tonka truck. This is pretty cool, by the way. They run to the barn and hide as Jason comes to find them. Tommy comes shortly after and believes Jason to be a hallucination until he's attacked, subsequently with a machete, straight to the chest. Together, they get Jason to fall off the loft window and is killed on a harrow below. So subsequently, we see the mask open and the killer is revealed to have been not been Jason, but was actually Roy Burns all along. The ambulance driver from earlier. At the hospital, subsequently, we find out that that Pam was that Roy was actually the father of Joey, and evidently he just went crazy because of this. And subsequently, that's kind of ties in with the Pamela Voorhees murders from the first movie. So there you go. So anyway, at the hospital, the sheriff tells Pam that Joey was Roy's son. After seeing him slaughtered, he adopted Jason's identity to cover everyone at the house. Well, that's what I just got into. She goes to Tommy's room and who awakens and stabs her before Tommy awakens to a hallucination of Jason. Facing his fears, he makes Jason's hallucinations disappear. He hears Pam approaching and throws his bed through the window to appear that he has escaped. When she rushes in, he appears from behind the door wearing Roy's hockey mask and wielding a butcher knife. And so Tommy is now evidently the new killer, and then the screen fade, and we hear the shh, 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 and and the screen fades to black. So then the credits start to roll. So what can I tell you about this particular movie? Well, what can I tell you?
Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, has the rating of I got a rook.
Anyway, it's not a very complex story, but it sort of ties in that after some time they decided to go ahead and make a sequel because they wanted to go ahead and continue the series. And this is only part 5, so we got 5 more movies to go before this thing is over. Uh, Incidentally, the next one is Jason Lives, which is part 6. I'll get into that the next chance I get. So, anyway, go ahead and hit subscribe. Share and like, of course. Watch some more videos. Hit thumbs up to support the channel. And leave a comment below. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.